The McMartin preschool abuse trials were one of the most famous and controversial child abuse trials in U.S. history. In part 2, we are looking at the interviews that were conducted with the kids. These two short sections really show how false memories can be planted or be attempted to be planted with leading questions. So don't forget to like this video and follow for more fun legal videos and career information on being a legal transcriber. Let's dive in. So this is Kathleen McFarlane, who was supposed to be an expert but had no qualifications other than a license to be a welder, interviewing an 8-year-old boy, using puppets back and forth to speak to the child without speaking directly to the child to make them feel more comfortable. So Kathleen McFarlane. Mr. Monkey is a little bit chicken and he can't remember any of the naked games, but we think that you can because we know a naked game that you were around because the other kids told us, and it's called Naked Movie Star. Do you remember that game, Mr. Alligator, or is your memory too bad? Boy, I don't remember that game, Miss McFarlane. Oh, Mr. Alligator. Boy, well, it's a little song that me and a friend heard of, Miss McFarlane. Oh, boy, well, I heard out loud someone singing Naked Movie Star, Miss McFarlane. You know that, Mr. Alligator? That means you're smart, because that's the same song the other kids knew, and that's how we really know you're smarter than you look. So you better not play dumb, Mr. Alligator. Boy, well, I didn't really hear a whole lot. I just heard someone yell it from out in the... Someone yelled it, Miss McFarlane. Maybe, Mr. Alligator, you peeked in the window one day and saw them playing it, and maybe you could remember and help us. Boy, well, no, I haven't seen anyone playing Naked Movie Star. I've only heard the song, Miss McFarlane. What good are you? You must be dumb. Boy, well, I don't really remember seeing anyone play that because I wasn't there when people are playing it. Miss McFarlane, you weren't? You weren't? That's why we're hoping maybe you saw. See, a lot of these puppets weren't there, but they got to see what happened. Boy, well, I saw a lot of fighting, Miss McFarlane. I bet you can help us a lot though, because like Naked Movie Star is a simple game, because we know about that game because just have had 20 kids tell us about that game. Just this morning, a little girl came in and played it for us, sang it just like that. Do you think if I asked you a question, could you put your thinking cap on? And you might remember, Mr. Alligator. Boy, maybe, Miss McFarlane. You could nod your head yes or no. Can you remember who took the pictures for the Naked Movie Star game? That would be a great thing to feed into the secret machine, which she was calling the video camera. And then it would be all gone, just like all the other kids did. You can just nod whether you remember or not. See how good your memory is. Boy nods the puppet's head. McFarlane, you do? Well, that's remarkable. I wonder if you could hold a pointer in your mouth, and then you wouldn't have to say a word. And boy wouldn't have to say a word. And you could just point. Boy places the pretend camera on the adult male nude doll using the alligator puppet and says, sometimes he did. Miss McFarlane, can I pat you on the head for that? Look what a big help you can be. You're going to help all these little children because you're so smart. Okay, did they ever pose in funny poses for the pictures? Boy, well, it wasn't a real camera we just played, Miss McFarlane. Mr. Alligator, I'm going to ask you something here. Now, we already found out from the other kids that it was a real camera. so you don't have to pretend, okay? Is that a deal? Boy, yes, it was a play camera that we played with. Miss McFarlane. Oh, and it went flash? Boy, well, it didn't exactly go flash. McFarlane, it didn't go flash? Went click? Did little pictures go zip, come out of it? Boy, I don't remember that. McFarlane, oh, you don't remember that? Well, you're doing pretty good, Mr. Alligator. I gotta shake your hand. The insanity. Okay, interview number 2. This was with a 6-year-old girl by Dr. Astrid Hager. Dr. Hager, maybe you could show me with this doll, puts hand on 2 dolls, one naked, one dressed, how the kids danced for the naked movie star. Girl, they didn't really dance. It was just like a song. Hager, well, what did they do when they sang the song? Girl nods her head. Hagar, I heard that from several different kids that they took their clothes off. I think first classmate told me that. I know that second classmate told me that. I know that third classmate, she's literally listing off names of this little girl's classmates. They all told me that. That's kind of a hard secret. It's kind of a yucky secret to talk of. But maybe we could see if we could find, girl, not that I remember. Hagar, this is my favorite puppet right here. Picks up a bird puppet. You want to be this puppet? Okay, then I get to be the detective dog. We're gonna just figure it all out, okay? When that tricky part about touching the kids was going on, could you take a pointer in her mouth and point on the doll over here on either one of these dolls where the kids were touched? Could you do that? Girl, I don't know. Hagar, I know that the kids were touched. Let's see if we can figure that out. Girl, I don't know. Hagar, you don't know where they were touched? Girl, shakes her head. Hagar, well, some of the kids told me that they were touched. Sometimes they said that it was sometimes it kind of hurt. And sometimes it felt pretty good. Do you remember that? Touching game that went on? Girl, no. Hagar, okay, let me see if we can try something else. Girl, whee, spins the puppet above her head, completely ignoring her. Hagar, come on, Bert, get down here and help us out. Girl, no. Hagar, Bird is having a hard time talking. I don't want to hear any more no's. No. Detective Dog, we're gonna figure this out. This little girl tells or intimates to the interviewer 9 times, no. But the interviewer continues to hound her and finally tells her she's not allowed to say no. Ugh, my brain. Worse, when they showed these tapes to the parents, when they announced your child's been abused, they never showed them the child denying things. They would fast forward so the parents never saw the denials. So the parents were convinced that it happened. Parties to the case manipulated them intentionally by withholding information and leading the children. Part 3 coming, you won't believe all of the ways that they spent money on trying to find evidence. $15 million. And they still came up with nothing.